Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have y'all tuned in with us this afternoon. We're going to give it a few minutes here for some viewers to get tuned in here. I don't know about everybody else out there, but I've had a great week. Everything's beautiful down here in South Alabama. I don't know what it's doing up there where Joey's at, but it's nice down here. Joey,
Nice
what you
here
got on your
today.
mind this morning?
It was nice here today. Sunshine all day. Unfortunately, I'm working um, 72 hours this week, so I'm not going to get to enjoy it out there much. But it's been nice here. It's not been too awful bad. I think the low's been around 30. Today it was probably around 50, and like I said, sunshine. So the weather's good here. No snow and ice. So.
Well, good deal. Hey, we're going to let's get some viewers in here. We're looking for a great afternoon. We have a very special guest with us this afternoon. We got him all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee. We got Michael Graham. I don't know if y'all are tuned in on Facebook but if you have any kind of Facebook activity at all, you've got to have seen this guy pull in some monster catfish. And we're glad to have him on the show with us tonight. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're going to get into some catfishing here in just a little bit. I want to make a call. Joey, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull up this chat because it's already running past us. It's just flying by. Let's take a few people and let's get them in on this show. I just noticed John Hoagland's in with us. Hey, John Hoagland is just a couple pounds shy of the state flathead record this past year. And hey, John, me and Joey's coming after that state flathead record this year.
Hey, Stacy, let me add this real quick. Hey, John, we really loved your hospitality last year on your camper. And Stacy wanted me to go ahead and ask you, could we reserve that again for them 3 or 4 days next year? So.
Hey, good deal, Joey. John's a great guy. He let us stay down in his camper a couple of nights. John, we appreciate that so much. Hey, we're going to give away one of these SmackDown CatFishing hats tonight. We're going to give away a pack of Dale's Tackle 12-aught hooks, and we also going to give away a pack, one pair of the 10.5-inch. I think these are the heavy-duty fish grips for them big catfish that y'all catching and trying to pull over the side of the boat. So you have a pair of grips to be able to get him with.
Hey, Stacy, we're going to give away more stuff than Joe Biden.
Guys, good to see y'all. And hey, let's get ready to get started this afternoon. When you come in here to talk about catfishing this afternoon, I want to make mention of, I'm trying to keep up with this chat. Chris Russell, he's tuned in. We got Big Bama Brian tuned in. Adam Gibson, Brian Crosby, Mark Keeter's tuned in. Hey, we got old John Rainey. Oh, Big John Rainey's tuned in. Oh, John. Oh, man, listen, he can catch some big ones too, man.
In the rain.
That's him.
Got Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas.
Joey, all we need tuned in with us is the J-Bird, Robert J. Dickerson.
I'm going to be watching for him.
If he gets in here, you make sure you let me know. We got Miss Stacy Ledbetter, Martin tuned in with us. Good afternoon, Miss Stacy. Good to have you. And guys, I'm trying to grab everybody as you fly by, but this chat's running faster. I'm telling you, it is running. So
we got Tony Caton with us tonight.
Tony Caton, he's from Catch the Fever Rods, ain't that right?
He's the man.
And we got Mike Presley, old pole bender. He's tuned in. So we're going to give away a few things, but let's do this. Let's go ahead and get talking about a little bit of catfishing. Guys, we want to encourage you also tonight as you're in this chat. If you have any questions that pop up, anything that you have on your mind, any ideas, any techniques that you got questions about, please throw it out here. If one of us three can't answer it, I promise you there's somebody in this chat that can answer this. Done been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and mailed the postcard home. There's somebody that done it. So, hey, Michael, let me get back here with you, man. Good to have you in here with us. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions just to start with. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and how long you been catfishing and how'd you get started, man?
I've been catfishing since I was a kid. I'm born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee. Used to go out to the Clinch River with old Bucky Chicken Liver, sit on the dock and have fun with channel cat, And then the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I got into chasing trophy catfish and finding out a little bit more about them, and what they like to eat, moved off to chicken liver and channel cat, which was fun. You go out there and catch 15, 20 fish a night, you having a good time, put your old can on the dock, run your line up on the lid and the can falls over, you got your fish running. Yeah. So when I first found out about skipjack, I never knew what they was. I just had fun with them, catch them, throw them back in the water. Now every time I see one, I want one because I know what can lie next, and you put that baby on the hook. But I love it, love enjoying it. I love fishing my home waters on Fort Loudon and Watts Bar. 26 years old, 3 kids and a wife. I'm blessed, truly blessed, and I love catfishing, as much as anybody on this video here. And yes, SmackDown is the way to go.
I appreciate that. Hey, it tickles me. You made mention about the skipjack. I was up at the behind the Wheeler Dam this past year, and there were some Mexicans up there catching shad. And I was throwing my net over, and they pulled that net in and had about 4 or 5 skipjack. And he kicked him. He kicked it when I'm going to try to kick him back in. I went to holler, ho, 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 ho. I said, I want them skipjack. I want them things. Hey,
the first boat I ever got, I went out on the Holston River. It was about spawn time, fish move up river to spawn. Skipjack was moving up river to spawn. And I was young. I was 13, 14 years old out there in a little V bottom. I started catching this fish, and I didn't know what it was, but I was catching so many of them, I started throwing them in a bag I had and a tote I had. I took them home for bragging rights and didn't keep not one. Ended up letting them all go to waste, and come to find out I knew what they was, and I kicked myself in the butt. I said, well, we got to got some good ones off him.
Oh, Michael, let me ask you this, man. In catfishing, what's your preference? What's your preference when you're fishing? Your style, anchor, drifting, or what do you do mostly of?
Oh man, to be honest, it just depends on what body of water I'm on. I always judge it off what body of water I'm going to fish. A lot of lakes, you can anchor, drift, drag, suspend, whatever you like to target. Here in my hometown on Fort Loudon and Watts Bar, all year round you can drag. It's good fishing. My favorite thing to go to around here is anchor fishing. I like anchoring on structure that's deep, trees 50 and 60 foot deep right off the bank, sheer straight drop offs. If I come down to your neck of the woods, I'm going to have to run that Honda generator because that trolling motor is going to be kicking a whole lot, because I'm going to be dragging the whole time, Yeah. Unless I get down there below Pickwick or something. I went to that Mississippi River Monster tournament and bumping done spoiled me, and I got back home, from that tournament, and I was sitting around thinking, I said, man, it's hard to catch big catfish here anymore. And I got to thinking, I said, well, we got a few dams around here. I wonder if anybody's ever tried bumping below a dam. It's current, you can kill your boat half the speed to current, just start bumping. And when I did that, it turned me clean out. Second fish I hooked into below Watts Bar was 72 pounds. I said, well, I done turned into a river right now. I'll be down here bumping till they run me away.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've done, and it seems like you do it too, because people ask me, I just basically use 2 techniques. I'm either anchored or I'm dragging. And people always ask this question. I said, I just do what the water offers to me.
That's right.
I said, that is what I do. That is whatever is offered is what I do. If there's a lot of current, I anchor. If there's very little current, I'm dragging. Well, let me ask you this, Michael. When you're out looking, say if you come to a spot or whatever, and you get to a place and you're trying to find something to fish or looking for something, is there something particular that you're looking for? What is it that catches your eye? If you're looking at your graph, if you're looking at your maps, is there something particular that catches your eye and that says, hey, I've got to stop and I got to go check this spot out? Is there something like that?
Yeah, if I'm running, no matter what river, no matter what lake or what river I'm on, what body of water I'm fishing, if I'm out and I'm scanning, I'm looking at my Lake Master, because that's what I use a lot is just Lake Master. I hardly ever study on marking fish, I just go off what my Lake Master, and I like targeting dark, deep, black lines, a heavy contour, and I like targeting, real long flats that just end right at the bank and drop straight off, right off the flat, right into deep water. And I'll pull up on the end of that flat, and just sit there because 9 times out of 10 fish coming and going off that flat. If you're anchored up, and the current's going out behind the boat, 9 times out of 10, them fish are going to move up and down on that flat. So I try to just target deep water flats, right off the bank, structure on the mega down imaging, side imaging. Don't spend too much time, on the sonar. I just keep my MasterCard and try to target the deep contour lines, something like the old Tennessee riverbed, where Catfish Highway is. They're always going to be deep, in that old Tennessee river system.
Hey, Michael, you said something because a guy we was out.
I've lost sound here.
Can you hear me now? Hey, Michael. Maybe he'll be back in just a minute. Michael said something just then. Joey, can you still hear?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Well, he may have to. You may have to go out and come back in now, Mike.
There you
go. He said something that's very interesting because I had some guys out with me Saturday fishing, and one of the things I told them, I run 2 units on my boat. I run a unit with my sonar, my down imaging, side imaging, and all that. But I also have one unit that's got nothing but maps on it. Are you back with us, Mike?
Yeah, sorry, I had to leave. I lost all sound. I couldn't hear nothing you were saying.
That's fine. Mike, what I was saying is because one of my greatest asset is not my graphs, not my sonar, it is my maps. I literally could fish without my sonar, my side image and down imaging, but I cannot fish without my maps. And because I'm like you, I'm looking for particular places. And when I find this particular place, I'm just really not looking for fish. It's just something that's always produced. And it's like these spots, these fish are drawn to it. I don't know if they move in and out because you can go through a place, and I know people who won't even fish if they don't see them on the graph. And I pull up there and they said, well, did you spot them? I said, I didn't even look for them. I just pulled up here because I like this spot. I anchored down. And I said, because I think them fish move. I think they move in and out or coming in or up and down. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm telling you, people are missing fish because they're just so concentrated on trying to find them. And we catch a lot of fish. And we didn't even see none, I'm like, hey, they supposed to be right here.
Right. Well, this is a perfect example of first time I ever come down to fish Wheeler Lake. I had a buddy of mine, he said, Mike, you need to go out of here, on Wheeler Lake, I was putting in at First Creek. He said, you need to go out of here and go to this spot here, and check it out. I've caught some good fish. I said, well, I'll give it a shot, And when I was coming out of Joe Wheeler State Park, I seen something on the map. I was like, well, I don't know if I want to go where he's talking about because this looks pretty good. And I got to riding around the contours there, and I didn't see no fish. I wasn't marking no fish, and I was with my wife, and we come down just to get some bait, and come back home, But anyway, I said, I don't mark no fish, but I want to try this. And we sat there, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. First fish we got, rod went down. I fought that fish for 15 minutes, ended up getting in the boat. It was 92 pounds. It was a personal best right off the bat. That's the first fish of the night. States, I got that fish back in the water, got the same rod back out there. Wasn't 2 hours later, the other rod goes, and I get that fish in the boat, and it's 94 pounds. And I didn't mark no fish. I just trusted my instinct off that contour line. I'm going to sit right here, and I'm not going to move. And I went back to that same spot for the next 3 weekends after that and never caught a fish in that spot smaller than 50 pounds. You know, it was 50 to 90 and never marked none of them. I just figured there got to be fish here. The way this contour is, the way it's, you know, they've got to be hiding down in this hole, and they was there. And I didn't mark not the first one.
If there is current, and there's a good bit of it, I just really don't. I don't look for fish on my graph. I'm looking. I call it reading the current. I'm looking for a seam. I'm looking for a break. I'm looking for a drop on the contour. I'm looking for something. I'm like, hey, this is where these fish move. This is where they congregate at. And if you're looking for fish, especially in swift current on your graph, you're going to have problems finding them because them things is tucked in so hard to the bottom.
You'll never see them.
It's hard to find.
You'll never see them. I wouldn't trade my Lake Master card. If I could only pick one looking at the map or looking at sonar, I'd have to give you the sonar. I need that map.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I'll agree with you 100%. I've got to have my maps. I can do away with a lot of stuff, but when I'm at my maps, I'm just virtually lost. On a new body of water, hey, if I got my maps, I'm pretty confident, guy. We're gonna find it. There's some spots. I know I already went online. I done pulled up the graph. I done looked at it. And I'm like, I done found 10 spots. This is the one we're gonna go look at. This is the one we're gonna fish before we ever even step foot on that lake. Yeah. Josh,
that's right.
Let me ask you this: What's your favorite bait of choice?
It'd have to be skipjack, hands down, and you know, next go-to gonna be gizzard shad.
Yeah.
But I don't know now, man. There's a lot of rumors going around about chicken. I ain't tried that
yet. Hey, well, I would tell you this. I've tried a little bit of everything just by experimenting. Joey's laughed at me a couple of times because I've hooked other stuff on and put on the front of the boat, and I'm like, hey, I just want to see what happens and fish with it all day. But I'm telling you, hands down, day in, day out, skipjack is by far.
It really depends on me for what fish I'm targeting. If it's springtime, the water's warmed up, flatheads are active. You know, I'd rather have, you know, gizzard. For me, I like to have live gizzard shad for flatheads, and I'd like to have cut blue, cut skipjack or a whole skipjack for blue catfish. You know, gizzard shad's my prime bait for flatheads. I feel they like them a whole lot when they're live. You know, you drop them down, just run the hook up through the top of their head, don't close their mouth so they stay alive a little longer. I've had a lot better success catching big flatheads with gizzard shad and cut bait skipjack for big blues. But I've caught, you know, both on either one.
Yeah, and shad is always in Joey's fished with me, sir, a lot, and I have been a big shad guy. He's seen me waste at least some time getting out there in freezing weather, and I'm like, I gotta have some shad before I go, especially if I can get them fresh.
Well, you never know. I've had days they wouldn't touch a skipjack, you know, and I've had days they wouldn't touch gizzard shad, but they would want either one, you know, one or the other. You know, you skipjack can't catch nothing. You put gizzard shad on there, you can't keep them off the hook.
I want to share this story, and we're gonna take a break and give some stuff away. We went fishing Saturday, and my buddy here in Greenville, Michael C. Smith, he's on Facebook. There's 2 Michael Smiths on my Facebook page. One of them's out in Texas at Lake Tawakoni, but there's also another guy called Michael C. Smith. He's from my hometown, and I run out of skipjack, and I called him, and he let me borrow some from him. We went Saturday. We had an epic day on our body of water. And I took these skipjack, and when we got there, it was so cold Saturday morning, my skipjack was still froze when I got to the river. And I cut them up froze and hooked them on my rod and reel. And within froze skipjack, I'm not talking about frozen skipjack that unthawed. I put them on the hook froze. And within 15 minutes, bam, And I was really having to expect it. So it just shocked me that them fish would hit that skipjack and it was almost solid ice.
Well, that's the thing too. A lot of people require fresh skipjack over anything. Straight out of the water cut. Me personally, if I'm going to go fish and if there's no current, I'd rather if there's really not a lot of current, I'd rather have frozen skipjack because it takes a little bit longer to get the scent trail out there. But if you got a lot of current, when you throw a fresh piece of bait out there, it ain't gonna take too long for that bait to be washed out. In my belief, it'll wash out a lot faster than frozen will. You can hold that scent behind your boat with that frozen bait because it takes a little longer to thaw out.
Well, I've heard other people tell me the same thing. Joey, what you got on your mind?
I don't have much on my mind. I'm all ears tonight, buddy.
Joey, you mighty quiet this afternoon.
I'm taking notes.
Well, you got to start giving notes. You're a man that missed a legend.
I think the only thing I can say really is skipjack. Some people probably throw rocks at me, but if I have to go messing with shad, I'm probably not going to catch fish because if I can't catch them on skipjack, Stacy, when he gets fresh shad or bluegill or whatever, he can have all that he wants. That's my golden opportunity to sneak in a skipjack head from him.
Well, Joey, for you to fish the waters you fish, you talented, man, because I've heard from a lot of people it's tough fishing on the Ohio River.
Hey, unless you got a big old hoop net, it's tough.
I heard, man.
They've all but killed it, man. It's sad, but it is tough. But I still love it. I enjoy it. It's my passion.
That's what I go out on Fort Loudon Lake, Wattsbar Lake. That's my home waters. That's where I fish. And sometimes it's very depressing, sitting out there, and the fish ain't biting good. So I go out a lot of nights and don't catch no fish, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going fishing. But, and then I think back, I said, well, there's a lot of people out there that's got it a lot harder than I do, guys that, way up where you're at. And you got these commercial fishermen, these pay late guys just, killing the fish, and you out there, you struggle to find fish, and when you do, you find a couple nice fish.
Yes, sir.
Joey, let's go ahead and let's give a pack of the Dales. This is going to be a 10-pack of the Dales 12-aught hooks away. So give me just a second here.
Hey, Stacy, on your list there while you're getting that winner, Tony with the Big Cat Fever and Catch the Fever and Slime Lime would like to give away a 325 yard of high vis slime line yellow, the high vis or the orange, your choice. We'll give that away tonight also. We appreciate their generosity. Appreciate that. Anybody that contributes to this show, it's I know these people in chat love it. They're SDC and Stacy, and that thing's scrolling by what's that wheel on Price is Right they spin? That's what it looks like over here on my chat.
That's the big dollar wheel, whatever it is, big money wheel.
I tell you what, Stacy, I got two red SmackDown rod holders I never used that I got from you, and we can give those away too.
All right, guys, the winner of the Dale's 12-aught hooks is Mark Anthony. Mark, if you would, you can contact me on Stacy Gaston or SmackDown CatFishing. Send me your name, put it out there, which I know what you want. I got your name written down here, and we're going to need your name and your address, and Dale will get these to you. If you know Dale personally, you can just send it to him. But if you send it to me, I'll make sure it gets to him. Joey, let's just go ahead while we're here, and let's go ahead and give away that roll, that 325 yards of the high vis line. They have a choice of the yellow or the orange. Is that correct?
It just do a 325 of high vis slime line of choice, and I think it's orange. The high vis orange or the high vis green. It's the slime line. Like I said, it's from Catch the Fever. Like I said, it's some great line. I know, Stacy, you got the bulk spool of it and spooled a bunch of your reels with it, and it's my choice of mono line that I use, along with the leader line.
Yeah, I've been using it now for, I don't know, a couple months. I've about done re-spooled everything I got with it, and it's done a great job. Hang on just a second, and I'm fixing to get this up. We got a winner. So just... Here's the winner of the Catch a Fever High Vis line.
Slime line.
Slime line. Catch the Fever High Vis slime line. It's going to be Justin Mertz. Justin, if you can contact Joey, you can do that. Or if you don't, you can contact me on Stacy Gaston. Or SmackDown CatFishing. We're going to need you to contact us and leave us your address, and we'll make sure. If there's two colors there, you just need to let us know what color that you want if they offering that.
Yeah.
So just leave if you want yellow or the green or whatever it is, or the orange, and we'll make sure this gets to you. Just
hey, Stacey, let me mention this real quick too for them. I know their slime line is a lot of times out of stock, but if for the people that have been looking, it is in stock right now. So, so I wanted to pass that along as well.
So, Joey, what
yes,
you
sir.
saying? If they've been waiting online, they got it in stock right now. They need to go ahead and go to Big Cat Fever,
Big Cat Fever,
and go online and go to buying it right now.
Big Cat
Fever.
This is
the opportunity.
Catch the Fever or slimeline.com.
Yeah. So, guys, if you've been waiting on it, no more excuses. Go there and go to ordering it, and let's put them back out of stock again.
Yeah, Joey was about to start a war right there for people that ain't got the line they wanted. He on her giving it away.
Guys, hey, let's do this. We got two more items we're gonna give away. Hey, let's go ahead and do this one here, and we'll move on. And I'm gonna do this in just a minute, because you said you got two red SmackDown rod holders you don't use. You'll give away.
Brand new, ain't never been on a boat.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to do this. So if you're in the chat, we want to give it to somebody who's gonna need them. So if you're in the chat, go in and put rod holders. Just put rod holder in the comment box, because some of y'all don't need no red rod holders. There may be some of y'all on here that need some red rod holders. Go in and put rod holders in the comment box, and we're going to choose from that. We're going to be looking for that keyword in just a few minutes when we do this.
I don't care if you got rod holders. You always need a SmackDown rod holder. You can't never have too many.
How many you have on your boat, Michael?
I got 16.
There you go.
Hey, the last boat I had 26. The old man will tell you himself. I've been here since day one.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah, guys, so y'all, there's some guys in here that's putting rod holders. We're going to look for that keyword in just a minute. So we're going to give y'all about 5 minutes to do this. Michael, let me ask you this. What body of water do you fish the most? What's your home body of water?
Fort Loudon Lake and Watts Bar Lake. 9 times out of 10, I'm on Fort Loudon Lake.
Fort Loudon. Now,
that's the start of the Tennessee River. That's where the Tennessee River starts.
I got you. And it just flows right on down to Alabama, baby.
All the way down to Pickwick. I know there's still monster fish in my backyard. It's just a whole lot harder to target them.
Hey, Michael, up on that body of lake, is there a lot of current there, or is it mostly just no current at all?
It all depends on how much rainfall we get, because we got a lot of lakes up ahead of us, Cherokee, Douglas, that flow down to Holston, French Broad. If we get a lot of rainfall, it can be, a good amount of current, upwards of 2.5, 3 mile an hour current, but 9 times out of 10, it's just a slack current. You might get a half a mile, maybe a mile an hour current.
I got you. Well, let me go right here and we fix to pull out this chat right here on these rod holders.
There's several of them on there. We got Dwayne Richardson turned in. He just started catfishing, Stacy, he's got 38 kids. He just started catfishing, and the other day they was all piddling around in his boat, and he finally got to catch one. And I wanted to give him a big shout out. He caught a 32-pound blue, and he's hooked. I think he's done spent $8,000 with Big Cat Fever on their rods, and $2,000 worth of hooks and stuff from Dale. And I think I'm getting ready to get him to talk him into getting some of them SmackDown rod holders, Stacy. But I'm telling you, if he could get a school bus and get something, get maybe one of y'all to fab him up a base or something to hold that thing to float, because I'm telling you, he's got a bus full of kids that he takes. Mm-hmm. So he's doing good things with the youth around here and taking them fishing. So I turned him on to Big Cat Fever, and I think he spent 8 stimulus checks on it.
Oh man. Hey, let's get is any questions y'all got for Mike this afternoon? You see anything in there, Joey?
I've been looking, Stacy, and I haven't seen anything, but I'll scroll and look.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, what else you got? You got anything else on your mind?
No, not right offhand, I don't.
Oh.
I'm just glad to be on the show with you two old guys.
Hey, but listen, I'm glad, man, being able to get to having to meet you and having you run my products on your boat, man. I don't know how long we've been getting to know each other. It's probably been about a year now, I would say. But you
the first set of rod holders I bought from you was it was about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
a little over 2 years ago was when I had that Starcraft. I fully redone that Starcraft. I remodeled and restored, and that's about when I got into it. But a little bit before that, I was into them, but I just was trying to get a black because I didn't have. And then the blue, I ended up getting that blue boat. I said, well, I got game on now. I can get all kind of rod holders to match this boat.
Hey, Eric, you are the winner of the 2 red rod holders that he has. So contact me. Give me your name, your address. I'm going to get it to Mike, and he'll have them shipped to you, man. And Eric, we're glad to have you tune him with us this afternoon.
I'm glad to pass them along to let somebody else try them out. Best rod holder on the market.
Joey, what else you got on your mind, man? Talk to me. You might be quiet tonight, Joey.
I don't have nothing, Stacy. I was all ears, buddy. I appreciate, we get a lot of stuff sometimes on here. I've had my phone. I know the last few weeks I've had messages after I get off the show. So if you don't mind, I'd like to explain myself just for a minute. A lot of times I watch the chat on this laptop, and if I go to work or something on break or lunch, and I end up watching some of this show again, we miss some questions. So I try to keep up on my phone also. There's one thing that I can't stand, and it's to be ignored or feel like I'm being ignored. So I try to get every question, acknowledge everybody that we can. So I apologize to anybody that sends anything. I know Robert a lot of times tries to make sure we have something. Dale, Big Cat Fever. I know you have Charles. Charles gives away stuff. RS Nets. We got a bunch of people that we thank. And I try to make mention of everybody every week, and we appreciate it. So I'm all ears tonight listening to y'all, and I'm really he's calling me old man, so I'd rather him just talk to you and keep the old man going your way. So
now I got two more things I'm gonna give away here this afternoon. I'm gonna save the SmackDown hat for the last thing. We've got I've got a Dale's Tackle 10.5-inch fish grip. That's the heavy duty one they just come out with. So we're gonna give that right there away at this time, Joey.
Stacy, we got Travis Dyer in here. And Travis, you're going to get several different answers. We'll get Michael's opinion, Stacy's, and mine. But Michael Dyer, or Travis Dyer, is wanting to know what the best planer boards to use. I mean, it's my opinion. It's each his own. There's a bunch of them out there, and to be honest with you, I haven't used one that I would consider junk. I've used the Zach Royce's. They're awesome. I think B&K products or something. They're great. Bears. I have matter of fact, I got a set of Zach Royce's in my boat, a set of Bears in my boat, and a set of the BK products. I know Stacy makes some that works great. Michael, what do you prefer, or what do you use?
Hey, maybe make mention of spread them planer boards, because they are heavy duty. Them right there are some fine looking boards also.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, Joey. I ain't pulled any planer boards, and just tonight on the way home from work, I stopped by a buddy of mine's shop, Big Fish Outfitters. I like to give him a shout out. You know, he's a good guy. He's got a very nice bait and tackle store here in Lenoir City. You know, right out on the outside of Knoxville. And I picked up some Captain Max planer boards. I've never pulled any, so I want to give it a try. And I went on there and just seen if anybody's ever used those planer boards or not. And I've had one person, say he tried them, really didn't like them, which everything's for anybody different. Everybody's different on what they like, go with what you. I mean, I don't know if I want to open them up and go out and try them, because once I open them, they're mine, and I don't want to be stuck with something that really don't work, but I don't want to doubt somebody that I've never tried. So I think what I'm going to do is just see if I can get anybody else to see if they've ever used them. And if I get, a couple people that just don't like them, I think I'll buy me some spread them planer boards or Zach Royce edition, something that I know somebody's used and seen the quality of the pull. Because I've never pulled planer boards. I've always been, you suspend a couple down, throw a couple out the back, drag and suspend a couple. And I'm trying to get into pulling planer boards to open the field up so I can drag the channel and the flat at the same time,
That'll do it.
I'm not tired of donating my money to all these tournaments, but I like fishing them and hanging out with guys. But I see so many people dragging these planer boards. I'm saying, well, it's something I'm doing wrong. I don't have not one planer board on this boat.
Yep. You need some, but there's like Stacy, there's
so many out there on the market.
Yeah, there's so many, and I know the clear boards are good. Dale's Tackle has several different kinds as well. I think he's got the clear boards, and he's got the spread them. Zach Royce, there's all of them are good boards, and to be honest with you, there may be one or two that I may prefer the other ones, but all of them, they all that I've seen worked about equal.
I want to say this on the planer boards from what I've experienced, and everybody to their own, because everybody don't fish the same. And if you're dragging, 3 or 4 ounces of weight, and you're dragging big baits, you really need a bigger type planer board. There's some out there. I know I can't think of the name of the couple of them. I do know that Spread'em is a big planer board. He's got them. There's a couple more. You need something equivalent to that size. If not, you're going to find out that what you're trying to pull out there is just lugging that board down. Bears, you want that what is that other planer board that we see sometime?
The noodle one is like BK. There's clear board.
they look like they some big ones, and so you want something fairly good size, because I have discovered when you get into some bigger stuff, it just sort of weights that board down, and it just cannot pull it out there like it ought to. So,
And Michael,
but there's a lot of guys.
There's even some planter boards on the market now called fat roosters. You know, I've never heard of fat roosters tackle or anything. You know, but that's what they're called. You know, guys said you should try these out. You know, there's so much different catfish stuff on the market. It's unreal. But I tell you one company I'll stand behind and keep on my boat. That'd be SmackDown. So you send some of her Knoxville, Stacy, and I'll take your word that they work.
Hey, you better get you some planter boards.
Yeah, I like to have some SmackDown planter boards now. Don't tease me. You got to please me.
Hey, the winner of the Dale's Tackle Fish Grips, Stacy Ledbetter, Winfro Martin. Hey, Stacy, if you would, you can contact me on Facebook, on SmackDown CatFishing Facebook, whichever way you see fit. Get me your address, and I will forward this to Dale, and he'll make sure that you get this. Right here is the 10.5-inch fish grips. And Stacy, want to thank you for tuning in with us.
There's one more, Randy McMillan. I think I seen you ask earlier. Yes, they are. The Monsters on Ohio tournament will be in October again this year. A different crew's got it, but they are having it. And Stacy uses the J hooks pulling planter boards, and I use the circle hooks pulling the planter boards, and he catches them and I catch them too. So if you like it hands-on like Stacy and likes putting a piercing their heads, those work. And if you like them setting the hook themselves, use that circle hook. But yes, we use both style hooks when we're pulling planter boards.
Yeah. That's a good thing to know.
We're going to give away one of these SmackDown hats right here. This is going to be the last thing we give away this afternoon, so give me just a second. I want to find this right here. Has been donated by Mike Presley. Mike is a good friend of mine. He owns Central Fire Services. They recharge fire extinguishers, and he also a company called Alabama Cylinders, which requalify which would be inspecting the propane tanks and requalifying them. So we're gonna give away a SmackDown one just like this right here.
Hey, Stacy, he also owns the rights to pole bender too, don't he?
He owns the rights to pole bender. He sure
there you
does.
Go. Pole bender Presley. I heard a lot about
that's him. Yeah, that's him.
Appreciate
Give me just a second.
You. Thanks again to all of y'all that donate for these. Robert Thomas, I know you hate hearing it, but I'm gonna give a shout out to you, man. We appreciate you a lot. You do a lot for us, and Stacy and I are very grateful, and as well as a lot of people that's won on these chats.
Hey, I don't know where I didn't see Chad Bryant tonight.
He's on there, Stacy. He's on there.
Chad Bryant has done so much. He probably gonna probably get mad at me too, but he's done so much to contribute to this program. Dale's Tackle, I know Dale's gives away a lot of stuff, and this stuff right here is some of the stuff that Dale gives away. Catch the Fever, Meat Hunter rods, Steve Stacy with Real Catnappers, Troy Smith. Guys, I could just go on and on. These guys volunteer to donate to this program. Me and Joey don't make a dime off of doing what we're doing, and we don't do this, and we never will on this program right here. These guys just come in here, and so what they donate, we take, and man, it's to buy stuff to give away to y'all for tuning in and watching us. And now y'all hindering me. I'm trying to get this stuff written in this thing, so hang on just a minute, Joey. Go ahead.
And the Foley spoons, he donates spoons for us to give out. Them things are sure wax skipjacks, and it's just like Stacy said. It's sometimes we have too much stuff to give away, and like I said, if we don't ignore anybody by no means. We interact with everybody that comes on here and talks, and we just we do it because we enjoy doing it, and we do it the way that we would like to see it be done on everybody that does these type of shows. I mean, there's no.
Yes, sir. Hey, the winner of the SmackDown hat, Larry Gross, send me a message. We'll make sure this here gets to you. Send me a message and your address. Everybody that won something tonight, you can contact me with your address. I will make sure it gets forwarded to where it needs to be, and we'll take care of that. If you won the line, you can contact Joey, me or him, either one, on this stuff, and we'll make sure this gets to where it needs to go. They'll get the stuff sent out to you. Just be a little patient on the shipping right there. I know there's a lot of stuff going on with shipping, especially with the USPS. Guys, before we get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to, Mike, before we leave here this afternoon?
No, I think, I give, obviously you guys, SmackDown, Big Fish Outfitters, that's, a real good company. If you live around the Knoxville area, it's a good place to check out, man. It looks like a bait store. It's right from the ocean, it's a live shad. They got all your want and needs around this area, and I have to give a shout out to you guys. And, Travis Dyer, he's a good friend of mine that lives around here. We do a lot of fishing together. You couldn't ask for a better friend, a better boat mate to be out there with, and I thank y'all for letting me come on here and chit chat.
Yes, sir.
There's still a lot of stuff I'm learning, like pulling planer boards. I've never done it. I text Joey the other night and asked him, where's he like to put his line between his main line and his floats and his float from his hook. I'm still trying to learn like a lot of people, there's so much technology and different ways to catfish anymore. It's hard to keep up with.
Yep. Hey, that's one thing about catfishing, why I like it so much. You can't do anything wrong. You can put your hook 10 foot away from your spark plug or tie you some rocks on there, man. And that's why I really like it. There's really no right or wrong, man. Just get out there and you'll figure out pretty quick if it's for you or not.
I think I picked catfishing for my favorite sport because it's relaxing and lazy. I work hard at a used tire store. I'm an old used tire man, been there since I was 15. But I can go out there, throw my anchor out, throw some rods out, kick my feet up on that aluminum wheel, put my heater on, my fan on, whatever I need to, and I ain't got to move till the rod goes down. My old fat butt just lay back and rest.
That's what
I don't want to be standing up on no front deck chasing no 2-pound fish, and spending $100, trying to find that too, which I don't knock any bass fisherman. More power to you, but I just like being lazy.
Yeah. Stacy got one more question of this guy, and they're already hollering for you to give them the gospel, buddy. So Andy Warwick, I use a Big Cat Fever bumping rod. That's what I use. That's what I prefer. It does great. I know Michael does some bumping. He can feel free to give you what he uses. And I know Stacy, he ain't gonna do much bumping. Hey, he'll bump his gums, but he ain't gonna do much bumping.
I'm pretty good at that right there now.
That's right.
I'll be honest with you, I'm cheap way about it. When I go bumping, I use the rod and reel that I use for dragging and I use for anchoring. If I'm bumping, I don't change nothing about it, guys. I hook a weight on my sinker slide, and I just keep up with it so I don't get snagged. I don't use a 3-way or nothing because I feel if you're bumping, soon as that weight hits the bottom, it's automatically going to pull a line from that sinker slide, so which lets that bait get up there a little bit higher and get behind it a little bit higher. And time you go pull it up, you're pulling your line back to your sinker slide, so it's kind of giving it that back and forth motion size, keeping everything together. But boy, you got to be on your toes when you do that. You get a lot of snags. You lose a lot of lead.
That's right. That's right.
But I use B&M Elite rods, which anybody that knows me knows whatever color boat I got, that's what kind of rods I got to match the boat.
Hey, I'm going to share this, and we're going to get out of here tonight. I had this thought on my mind. Years ago, and I want you to grab a hold of this. I want to think it's in the book of Ephesians. It talks about putting on the whole armor of God. In other words, clothing yourself with the gospel and with truth and these things. But somebody told me one time, said, well, it doesn't have anything to protect your backside, because they says, somebody made the comment, well, you should never turn your back from the devil and run. I said, well, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes the old devil, man, he always tries to get you from the backside. He wants to sneak up on you. And I come back to this. And it's in the book of Psalms, chapter 23. And I want you to grab a hold of this. It's in the very last, I think it was 6 verses in Psalms 23. And it ends with, surely goodness and mercy shall follow behind me all the days of my life. And I told somebody that says, God has got you protected all the way around. The book of Ephesians gives you the armor, and he says on the back side, he says, surely goodness and mercy is falling behind you all the days of your life. And he ends with, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. If you never read Psalms 23, I encourage you to go do this, because David said, the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. And I stand here today, of all my years of living, one thing that I can stand here today and say, God has been faithful to me. There's been times I have not been faithful to him. There's been times I have let God down, but there's never been a time in my life that he's not been faithful to me. There's been some times I have faced some very discouraging moments. But when I come out of them, I found out that I come out better than I did when I went in. And I don't know what's taking place in your life and what you're going through, but your interest is in, God's got your interest in mind, your best interest in mind. Don't you give up on him, because he's not going to give up on you. God bless you. I want to say this before I leave. One more thing. I want y'all to be in special prayer for a friend of mine. His name is Greg Mays. He's going through some very difficult things right now. Please lift him up if you would in prayer. My daughter, please pray for her. She's pregnant with a child, and she's having some complications with her kidneys, and I think they said kidney stone today, so I appreciate it so much if you would lift her up in prayer. God bless y'all. May the favor and the grace of God continually be upon y'all's life. We'll see y'all next week. God bless you.